Is 60 cases too much, or can we manage even more? Now, here in the City and County of Honolulu, our approach has been to try to find a in-between step, not go back to March where everything is shut down, locked down, but in-between steps, partial steps backward, like we're doing right now with bars. You know, we rolled back bar closings or serving of alcohol from 4 o'clock for cabarets to midnight, and for bars that from 2 to midnight. And we also can shut down bars if we see protocols not being followed. And then just more recently, mandating face coverings in gyms when you're working out. And if you can't do a certain exercise, then don't do that exercise, but keep your face covering on so we don't spread the virus. That's the approach Honolulu wants to take, but we need the triggers. And we need to be able to manage our cases, which depend on ourselves and the Department of Health. Now, on top of all of this, on top of this spike in the past 2 days, we have Hurricane Douglas approaching. In fact, right now is on dead course to cross over all of the Hawaiian Islands. Perfect storm. And the bottom line here in the City and County of Honolulu, our request to our residents is that this weekend, while we're feeling the impacts of Hurricane Douglas, or Tropical Storm Douglas, hopefully, that we stay at home. Stay at home. Take care and protect yourself, your family, your neighbors, your loved ones. And secure and protect your property so it's safe from wind damage or storm damage or surge damage. And in turn, when you do this while you're staying home, you're slowing down the spread of COVID-19. You're protecting you and everyone you care about, and you're slowing down the spread of the virus. And let's heal over this weekend while we may be dealing with a storm, but healing within ourselves. So when it's over, when this storm passes over our shores, we can come out of it stronger, that we can come out of it together, and that we can clean up together. At the end of the day, the only way we deal with this pandemic is together, all of us working for a better future. Now, having said that, getting down to business regarding Hurricane Douglas, before I came over here, I did sign an emergency proclamation that's now in place that gives us, the City and County of Honolulu, extraordinary powers to authorize expenditures of funds more quickly and for more efficient relief efforts if need be. And it even amends our Restore Honolulu order to allow larger gatherings, which right now are limited to 50 or less indoors, to larger because we are going to be opening up shelters. And some of these shelters may have more than 50 people gathered in them, and under a Restore Honolulu order, that would have been prohibited. This order amends that. And on the shelter issue, which is critical, health and safety is always paramount, number one priority for the City and County of Honolulu. And if people need to evacuate from where they live or where they're staying because it's not safe, we need to provide them a shelter. Now, our first request is that try to shelter in place, if at all possible. If it's safe, stay at home. If you can't stay at home, look at another family member's home or neighbor or friend's residence. And that's the second choice. The third and last choice is if you can't find such a location, then go to one of the city-provided shelters. And we are going to be opening up potentially up to 25 storm shelters, which are going to be announcing in the next day. And we will open them up as need be, watching the path of Hurricane Douglas. Does it veer a little bit more north, a little bit more south, which depends, either the winds are stronger or weaker on certain sides of the island, which will determine where those shelters are open. But we've identified 25. And shortly I'm going to be asking the new head of the Red Cross, Diane Peters-Wynn, to say a few words. Now, at these shelters, there will be temperature taking, and we're asking everyone to come not just with 14 days of food supply, but also sufficient COVID-19 supplies, sufficient face coverings, because you may not be able to wash them, sufficient hand sanitizers, and sufficient maybe Clorox wipes and other kind of wipes to make sure they can wipe down surfaces. Now, we are counting on, we are depending on the Department of Health and HIEMA to find options for those who are subject to quarantine because they're COVID-19 positive, or just subject to quarantine because they traveled here in the last 14 days. This is a Department of Health issue. The quarantining is a state order, and Department of Health and HIEMA needs to step up and identify a place where these individuals can go. And we know they're working on trying to locate and pin down a hotel to do exactly that. And when that is identified, we'll be announcing that also. But at this point, if Diane Peters could come in and say a few words, I'd appreciate it. So I talked about sheltering, and I thought you could say a few more words. This is Diane Peters. Wynn, who's the new head of the Red Cross for the state of Hawaii.
Hi, good afternoon. Aloha, everyone. As you know, we keep hearing that word unprecedented, and that's really the word that I would use to describe the situation, because it is the first time that Hawaii will be facing a hurricane, and we know that it's really critical that everybody take the proper precautions. So we're asking everybody to be Red Cross ready and take this really seriously, and particularly with the spike that we've been seeing, especially today with a new record high in the COVID cases. We need to ask everybody to keep safety and health in the foremind of everyone. So that means if you can, please shelter at home. Obviously, we're working with the mayor's team on making sure that all of the shelters, the evacuation shelters, will be ready and have the right procedures and new protocols. And that means that everybody needs to bring with them, in terms of their emergency supply kits and their hurricane kits, they need to bring in addition to the 2 weeks of recommended food and water, but their PPE as well, so the masks and hand sanitizer. So we ask all of you to please do whatever you can. Additionally, we are putting a call out for volunteers, because we know that the shelters are going to be, with the social distancing, are just not going to be able to handle the numbers as they normally would. And that means we'll need more shelters and more volunteers to help run those shelters. So we're particularly making a call out for shelters, people that can work on site, 18 years or older, that are in good health, and also a special call out for shelter supervisors and healthcare professionals that could volunteer in these circumstances. So we thank you all, and as Mayor has said, this is the time for all of us to be ohana, to pull together, to keep healthy, and to help each other.
And how do they reach out to Red Cross if they want to volunteer? What's the best way?
So that number, if you want to reach out via phone to the Red Cross to volunteer, that number is 739-8122, and you can also go on our website, which is redcross.org/Hawaii, to volunteer and to get information about volunteering. And if you are interested in turning compassion into action, but you can't personally be there, we're also accepting donations at this time, and you can also go on our website to do that.
And while you're standing up there, I just see, so here is what Dan talked about. These are supplies, your COVID-19 supply. You know, you got your Clorox wipes, you got your face coverings, you got cloth face coverings, you got towelettes, you got hand sanitizers of different types, you got even a disinfectant spray. These are the kind of things you should have in your kit to bring to the shelter. It's really, really critical at this point for your own safety and that of your loved ones. The other thing that we have here is the kind of things you need for your water, for your supply of food and water. And as you can see, it has things like batteries and lamps and water container filled up with water supply water. You don't need to go wipe out Costco. And the most important thing is Spam. Bring enough Spam and Vienna sausage too. Another very important item. But want to emphasize, if you're going to a shelter, try to bring as much as you can so you don't have to depend on others. to live through this. I want to thank Diane for being here today and welcome aboard at this critical time. And
Thank you, Mayor.
We're lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Hawaii is lucky to have you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. We cannot get through the pandemic and we cannot get through this hurricane without relying on the Honolulu Police Department, our men and women in blue, who, when you think about how the year started on Hibiscus Drive and what's gone on since then, they've stepped up and performed in the most extraordinary manner with so much burden being placed on them. And we'd like Sonny Santos, Captain Sonny Santos, to come in and say a few words about what HB is going to be doing, both in terms of just helping protect all of us during this period of time, but also addressing the issue of our homeless cutting-edge post program and how we protect our homeless population in this program who are intense right now. Thank you. Sonny? Okay, Sonny, I introduced you. So you talk about how to protect us in that post.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of Chief Ballard, we just want to remind the community to please prepare yourselves. During the peak hours of the storm, please stay off the road. If it's safe to do so, we want you all to stay at home also. If for some reason power goes out and we don't have lights at the intersections working, treat it as a four-way stop. For 911 calls for service, we're asking the public to only call for emergencies. We don't want to inundate the 911 phone system. We've made arrangements for post, working with DEM. We have sheltering set up for the post site, so that's been taken care of already. And we just want everybody to be safe, be akamai, and please stay off the roads. Mahalo.
Thank you, Sonny. Thanks. You guys could all stay around in case there's questions. Yes. Again, you know, it shows the kind of things that the Honolulu Police Department are now doing, and their post program is their program, and they've already addressed where they can shelter, and it's a secure place where they're protected from the winds of the hurricane. But we are concerned about our homeless population, our most vulnerable population. They have nowhere to shelter. And Mark Alexander is here to talk about how we're going to address protecting those who we need to show the most love for. Mark Alexander.
Aloha. Thank you, Mayor Caldwell. Once again, we find ourselves in a very serious situation, but we see that all of us are working together very well as a team. So yesterday afternoon, for example, we made contact with our homeless service providers, working very closely with Partners in Care, which is our local continuum of care to which all homeless service providers on Oahu belong. So we informed them not only of the current situation, but our plans to provide for both evacuation shelters, should those be necessary, as well as transportation and support so that people who are homeless, whether they are in shelters or in an unsheltered situation, may be able to find a safe place to rest and sit out the storm. And we also followed up later in the day asking our shelter providers to give us additional information, estimating the number of people who would like to go to an evacuation shelter, how many would require transportation via our bus system, and even identifying some of the outreach areas and the best places to pick up people. We informed them that we needed this additional information to inform our planning so that we would be able to implement appropriate physical distancing and other health and safety measures. The response has been phenomenal. As of just a little while ago, we already received approximately 300 people who've identified as potential evacuees, and the providers have identified almost a dozen staff that are ready to go with them. And we will be appealing to them for further support. And once the shelters are released, we will inform them of that. And as in the past, we know that our providers really step up in times of need, not only to identify those who are in need, but providing the support to both those who are homeless and the general community so that all of us can feel safe together. Mahalo.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mayor.
So during times of crisis and also during regular times, our emergency medical services, our paramedics, our EMT folks, who are protecting ourselves every day. Our ocean safety folks are out there, and during Hurricane Douglas, they're going to be doing double, triple, quadruple time. And here to talk about their preparations is our director, Jim Howe. Thank you, Jim.
I'm going to keep my comments very brief. Jim Howe from the Honolulu Emergency Services Department. As always, as the mayor mentioned, HESD is going to be out there with you and for you no matter what happens. As the life safety component of the city, we will be prepared and are preparing and have been prepared even in this COVID-19 environment. It does present some challenges. Our folks will be wearing full PPEs for all medical cases. Our ocean safety folks have been outfitted with PPEs as well. The good news is that I have my two leaders from both EMS and ocean safety here today, and I have full confidence in their abilities to direct and manage anything that comes towards us from our community. So I'm very pleased to introduce Chief Chris Sloman from our Emergency Medical Services Division. Chief.
Good afternoon. As we prepare for Hurricane Douglas, we'd like to remind the public that this is the time to prepare, right? And from an emergency medical perspective, this is the time to prepare for your own health, right? If you have pre-existing health conditions, right, this is the time to address them with your personal care physicians so that they do not become an emergency, right? Please make sure you have adequate medications and ability to store those medications as you prepare for the impending storm. Also ensure, because we're still dealing with a pandemic, that we have adequate supplies of, face masks, hand sanitizer, and things like that for before, during, and after the storm. EMS is specifically preparing to respond during the storm. There may, depending on weather conditions, we're researching and working out plans now for we may have to stop depending on weather conditions in geographical areas of the island, and at what trigger points we would do that, and when we would resume when things become safe again after the fact. And the big things the public can do to help EMS is to, one, prepare, and two, minimize calls to 911 by not engaging in unnecessary travel that may cause accidents, not engaging in unnecessary recreational activity that may put, paramedics, lifeguards, firefighters, or police officers at risk while we're trying to prepare for the storm as well. Lastly, use extreme caution with, especially with power tools or any hand tools or landscaping or facility work that you're doing to prepare for the storm. And lastly, just remember that COVID-19 is probably more prevalent now than it has been amongst our population, and so those things that we've been preaching and trying to get people to practice as far as social distancing, wearing masks, hygiene, are just as important now as they were before. And with that, I'll turn it over to Chief Titchen with Ocean Safety. Thank you.
Good afternoon. John Titchen, Chief of Ocean Safety. Ocean Safety's response is twofold, or two operational periods, if you will. The first being before the storm, obviously. Sometimes in the past, we've seen, associated with hurricanes, some incredible swells, some really good surf conditions. That could happen. Swells by nature are unpredictable. The science has gotten better over the past couple decades, where we can typically predict where we'll see good surf or high surf, dangerous surf, when and where around the island. With a hurricane, a lot more difficult, a lot more challenging. The fetch is a lot closer, and typically surf spots will get surf from a different direction than they typically have. With the mayor and the governor advising folks that it's been okay to go to the beach and recreate, we at Ocean Safety have never been busier and never been more relevant. And this weekend will probably prove that again. We remind people the old adages about know before you go, and know your limits, check your equipment. All of those still apply, but probably one of the most important things now during the pandemic is have an exit strategy. As you head for potential surf this afternoon or tomorrow, it doesn't look so great yet, but it could get really good. It could pump and be really clean and fun, or it could be disorganized and washed out. We really don't know yet. As you head for the beach, as you head for recreational activities, have an exit strategy. Know how you're going to get out of trouble. Everybody can get into trouble, but it really requires effort to know how to get yourself out of trouble. Because during this pandemic, if you need help from a first responder, you may be putting that first responder at risk too because of COVID-19. So please try to remember that. And then second, the second operational period that we think about at Ocean Safety is obviously during the storm or post-storm. Some of our fiberglass towers may not be able to withstand constant wind, or at least wind gusts or sustained gusts of a certain magnitude. So we may have to go to mobile operations. We've done this before with the mayor's great assistance during the onset of the pandemic. We at Ocean Safety demonstrated that we can do this. As a matter of fact, we did it from dawn to dusk during the onset of the pandemic, and we remind people that just because they see a tower closed does not mean Ocean Safety is not out there. Call 911. If you see something happening in the water that may need our attention, call 911. If the tower is closed, call 911. But however, we typically will see disorganized surf, large surf, dangerous surf with high winds, and that's not necessarily conducive for recreational activity after the storm. So stay safe. The same messages apply. And again, before you get into trouble, know how you would get yourself out of trouble is probably our most important message. Thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. So I'd like to brag that we have the best watermen, lifeguards in the world, that train the best in the world. And my philosophy has been, when in doubt, no go out. No go out if you have doubt. It telling you something. Okay, next we're going to be having HFD come up, and we have Captain Rocher, who's going to talk about what HFD is going to be doing during this onslaught from Hurricane Douglas. Come on up, Captain.
Thank you, Mayor Caldwell. Good afternoon, everyone. During this time of preparedness for Hurricane Douglas, we ask that people be ready for what usually occurs during storms and hurricanes like this. So we would like to advise everyone to be prepared for those hazardous conditions that would result from that. The first being the possibility of power outages. If that happens, we ask that you unplug all of your appliances and electronic devices in order to avoid surge damage when the power is restored. We also ask, if lighting is an issue, that you use battery-powered lights such as LED candles, lanterns, flashlights, or other forms of artificial lighting as your best options. We ask that you refrain from using open flame candles, as those can be neglected, or you may forget that you have them, and that is definitely a fire risk. So if you're only, as far as cooking goes, those are open flames too if you have a power outage. So if using an open flame is your only option to cook, we ask that you do so and not leave it unattended, and do not use portable gas burners indoors. Please do so outdoors if it's safe. And in the event of your need to call 911 during the hurricane, visibility may be limited, especially for us and then even for you. So please ensure to guide us to your location when the fire crew arrives. Ensure that your house number is very visible to the fire crews, because we'll be looking for it, and if it's hard to see, we need something that's very visible. If that's not the case, we ask that you have someone outside to flag our crews down if it is safe to do so. So in the event that we need to evacuate the public, if this becomes necessary, we ask that you all remain calm. It's going to be a difficult situation for everybody, but remain calm, and please cooperate by complying with any of the evacuation orders or instructions that are given by our personnel, because the safety of the general public is our highest priority, and any instructions or orders will be given with that in mind. And lastly, I want to emphasize that the Honolulu Fire Department will continue to respond to emergencies until it becomes too dangerous for our crews to do so. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Captain. Really appreciate it. You can stick around just in case there are questions. Okay? Thank you. So we're in the Emergency Operations Center, and the head of the Emergency Management Department is Hiro Toya. He's been poor guy's been at work since actually the horrific shooting at Hibiscus Drive, and now with the pandemic, he hasn't stopped. He's been running this marathon. I'd like him to come up and talk about, the EOC and what's going to be occurring here, and then perhaps the website we provided for Hurricane Douglas. So Hiro Toya. Thank you, Hiro.
Thank you, Mayor Caldwell. My name is Hiro Toy. I'm the Director of Emergency Management for the City and County of Honolulu. It's been a tough year for all of us, more so for some of us than others. But we as city employees do not take it for granted for a minute that we have this incredible privilege of job security and that we're able to continue to work here. And we also recognize that with that comes great responsibility to look after the public. So we're taking this very seriously, but we're also asking the public to also take this seriously. Normally during hurricanes, we say it's a triple threat. We have the wind, the rain, and the surge and surf. And in this instance, we have a fourth threat added to that, and that's COVID-19. We've got to keep in mind that the hurricane impacts can have immediate life safety consequences. So please, please be safe out there. So for wind impacts, that could mean damage to homes. It could bring down roofs, windows, bring down trees and power poles. With the rain could come flooding in streams and low-lying areas. On the coastal areas, you might have some high surf and surge, particularly on the east side for the storm as it's forecast right now. So what we're asking the public to do is to continue to pay attention, really close attention to what's going on out there. Some of the consequences could be power outage and other utility outage. And we could also have impacts to the transportation system, including damage to roadways or debris accumulation in the areas that would impact our ability to transit. So in order to respond to this storm, we are activating the city's Emergency Operations Center so that we can maintain situational awareness, have the latest information from the National Weather Service and other sources, and coordinate with our state and federal partners, as well as the non-governmental organizations, so that we can bring all the resources to bear that's required for this, while at the same time trying to keep physical distancing. We are mindful of the safety of all of our responders so that we can continue to provide our response efforts and look after the safety of this community. So the Emergency Operations Center has been activated since this morning and will continue to be activated throughout the duration of this event. And we're going to be continuing to coordinate closely with each other for certain critical functions, including shelters, as Mayor Caldwell mentioned. We are finalizing the plans for the shelters, and we may adjust them according to the forecasts. So we do have amazing first responders here, really the best in the world at what they do. But we really need the public's cooperation. So we're asking everybody to make a plan, build a kit, stay informed. And if you can get yourself squared away, then please help others and each other. So for making a plan, please become aware of your surroundings and what can impact you. And think about what you and your family are going to do. Don't wait till the impact of the storm. Talk through it with your family and friends, with your neighbors, and make sure you have a plan. Are you going to be able to shelter effectively at home, or do you need to go to somebody else's house? Or do you need to go to a public shelter? Build a kit. Make sure you have enough supplies to last you through the duration of the event. 14 days of supplies if you can. Even when you evacuate, please bring 14 days of supplies or as much as you can, because we never know what can happen during a hurricane. Staying informed. Please pay attention to local news. We have amazing local news station with great coverage. And please, please stay tuned. We also have a webpage up for the city, honolulu.gov/DEM, and we'll provide the latest information on Hurricane Douglas there. And finally, please help each other. As was requested earlier, Red Cross is looking for volunteers. But even within your communities, please look to see where you can help each other out. So this is a tremendous challenge, but it's also a great opportunity for us to work together and show the rest of the world how we do this in Hawaii. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hiro. So people are going to ask, is there a garbage pickup? What about bulky item pickup? You know, what about convenience centers? You know, what about wastewater and getting rid of water on our roads, and how do we drain it off? And here to speak about is Tim Holton, the Deputy Director of Environmental Services. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Mayor. Going very quickly through our program for this event, Sunday, Monday, all refuse convenience centers, transfer stations, and the Waimanalo Gulch Sanitary Landfill will be closed to the public. Additionally, we will not be collecting trash, both manual and the 3-cart system, and all bulky appointments on Monday. And of course, as you may, of course, Sunday is a normal off day, so there would be normal collection. We will make up those collections in a way like we do with the holiday. So gray carts that we will not pick up on Monday will be collected the following days, either Tuesday or Wednesday. So place it curbside no earlier than Monday evening. For manual collections that were not collected on Monday, hold those until your next scheduled collection date, which would normally be Thursday. For blue carts and green carts that are not picked up on Monday, they will not be collected, so just hold them to your next scheduled collection of the blue cart or the green cart, which would be essentially in 2 weeks. For bulky item appointments for Monday, we will make those up in the following days, so don't set them out for collection until late Monday evening at the earliest, and we will be there Tuesday or Wednesday, hopefully at the latest, to take care of those. On the wastewater side, for wastewater discharge sites that are used by liquid waste haulers, the people that pump cesspools and other things, all of those 7 sites will be closed Sunday for liquid waste haulers and temporary dischargers. We anticipate at this point them reopening on Monday, but we'll see how that goes. And as the mayor mentioned, you know, what do we do when there's a situation of flooding? The one thing not to do is don't open the sewer manhole to dispose of that water on the road. It creates a totally different problem. It becomes a very significant potential health hazard by overflowing the sewer system. So please don't do that. Just let the water be there and let it go down the storm drains. That's where it needs to go. So that's what I've got. We will be here and ready to take care of you. We've got our systems buttoned up on the wastewater side, so we're in good shape and ready to keep systems running.
Tim, did you talk about the bins and how to secure them and stuff?
I did not, but we would appreciate it if you don't put your bins out on Sunday for a Monday pickup. Put them inside if you can. You know, put them in an enclosed area so they don't become projectiles. You know, that's a very important piece. Particularly if they're lightly loaded, they can move really quick if there's a lot of wind. So put them in a secure spot where they don't become part of a problem. So please do that. The same with any loose garbage. Keep it inside so that it doesn't become an additional problem for everybody.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks. Good job. Don't let the sewage come out.
That's right.
Okay. People also ask about, what about city construction sites? We're doing a lot of major construction around the island, and our director of design and construction, Mark Unimene, has been notifying all the construction sites to button up your work sites and tie down loose materials, secure signs, and they are ready to deal with the onslaught of Hurricane Douglas. I've also been in contact with Hart, who's building our rail system, and they're also starting to prepare to lock down their construction sites for the impacts of Hurricane Douglas. They're ensuring that loose scrap material doesn't blow around. They're ensuring that dumpsters are emptied. They're making sure that loose materials are all neatly stacked and banded together. Division of Facility Maintenance, they are critical during a time of a hurricane, before, during, and after. We have Ross Sasamore here, who's a chief engineer. I like to call him Ross is the boss. He's a tough guy. He works hard. And if Ross Sasamore could come in and outline what he's been up to. Okay?
You did?
Yeah. Did you say nice things about it? I said you're the boss. Ross is the boss.
Good afternoon. My name is Ross Sasamura. I'm the Director and Chief Engineer of the Department of Facility Maintenance. Since earlier this week, the Department of Facility Maintenance has already started its protocols for storm prep. So around the island, our base yards have been checked, fuel supplies topped off, and our crews have been working actively to clear any debris from storm drain inlets and other drainage inlets. We've also begun the process of opening up some blocked stream mouths at the ocean or at the shoreline. And so starting yesterday, we had equipment out. We cleared some stream mouths out in the Wailai area, the Wailai Major Drain, Kapakahi Stream, next to Wailai Beach Park. And today, the crews are out on the west side, making sure that we open Ulehava, as well as Pokai Bay, the Evaline Channel. And today also, we had a crew out at Kaelepulu Stream, opening the mouth there. So we'll continue doing the survey work. We'll continue opening through tomorrow, if necessary. But really, what's important is to remind everybody to watch out for flooded streets. Try to stay out of them as much as possible, and by all means, avoid any flowing water when you're driving, because your car could get picked up and you could get swept away very easily. The other thing is to really anticipate and expect heavy rain and high winds. So please protect yourself, your home, your families from any dangers that could arise because of the heavy rains and high winds around your home. And we hope that we can all weather this storm together and look forward to serving you after it passes. Mayor?
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, stick around just in case people have questions. You can see there's a lot to cover. There's a lot of important things the City and County of Honolulu does for the people of this island, 1 million strong. The bus, the handy van, critical lifeline for the people of this island. At peak times, 250,000 people are riding on our bus or handy van. And Roger Morton is here to say a few words about what the bus is going to be doing during the arrival and during the onslaught of Hurricane Douglas and afterwards. Roger Morton.
Well, aloha, everybody. My name is Roger Morton. I'm President and General Manager of Oahu Transit Services. We're going to take a little bit more time to determine exactly what we're going to do. And that's because we can. We're going to wait to see a few more updates from National Weather Service. But what I want to advise the customers is that it's possible, if trends continue as they are right now, and the storm continues to track toward Oahu with the expected time, we may terminate our service as of 12:01 a.m. Sunday morning. That'll be a determination that we probably won't make until tomorrow, to be exact. For our handy van, we are taking reservations right now for Sunday service on handy van, but our customers are being advised by our reservations that we may have to cancel those reservations in the event that the conditions prevail that way. In addition to that, we will be teaming up with Mark Alexander to deal with some evacuation services, and we will be coordinating as we've done in the past. Particularly for the homeless population, we want to make sure that they have resources to get to safe places. I'd like to call up my colleague from DTS, John Nauchi, to just say a few more words on transportation services.
Aloha kako. My name is John Nauchi. I'm the Deputy Director of the city's Department of Transportation Services. First of all, the city hopes that everyone can shelter in place and remain safe during this potential storm that is coming towards us. One of the first things we want to remind everyone is that our Kalakaua Open Streets is canceled for this Sunday. So there is no closure planned for Kalakaua Open Streets this Sunday. Since the event was envisioned to last through the end of July, we have yet to decide whether a makeup day will be scheduled in the future. In other items pertaining to the Department of Transportation Services, we want to remind anyone that has a street usage permit that they should prepare to remove unsecured traffic controls from their permitted sites as much as practicable. DTS will be contacting or has contacted permit holders to advise them on the required specific measures for the safety of the public. And we ask that all contractors that they focus on the removal and securement of best management practices equipment to aid in the drainage of potential stormwater, much as I'm sure our sister departments, DDC and DFM, have advised. If anyone has any questions regarding street usage permits, please call DTS Street Usage at 808-768-8387. For anyone experiencing a traffic signal that is not working, you may do the normal thing and call 911 as a non-emergency to report that, and our crews are on standby 24 hours to respond to any traffic light information, problems with that. As a final reminder, while everyone is trying to remain safe, if you do need to go out and get about, we advise that you may want to consult with the city's network of traffic cameras to see what weather conditions may be in the areas that you are headed to, and that's accessible through our partnership with the state at goakamai.org. Again, traffic cameras can be viewed at goakamai.org. Mahalo and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate it. We're getting towards the end, folks. People always ask when hurricanes are approaching, what about our parks? What about camping permits? You know, what about botanical gardens, People's Open Market? Summer Fun, our unique Summer Fun program under COVID-19. And Nathan Sorota's here. He's the spokesperson for Parks and Recreation. He's going to outline the different things that the public needs to know as they prepare for this weekend. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, the cancellations and closures as it relates to Department of Parks and Recreation. Our campgrounds, all city camping permits will be suspended beginning today, Friday, July 24th, and lasting through the entire current camping period, which ends on Wednesday, July 29th. Currently, we have 16 campgrounds with 87 campsites. All of those camping permits are suspended. People who have registered for those permits will receive an email and do qualify for a refund of their fees. All permitted park events for Sunday, July 26th and Monday, July 27th are canceled. That includes picnics, sports events, competitions, anything that required a permit in our parks, any of our city parks properties are canceled for Sunday and Monday. The Honolulu Botanical Gardens, our city pools, and the Cocoa Head Shooting Complex will be closed on Sunday and Monday. Those are for the entire day. Also on Sunday and Monday, our People's Open Markets will be canceled. Those are for all of the rotating markets on Sunday and Monday. All city beach parks and beach shoreline fronting parks, including parks like Ala Moana and Kualoa Regional Park, will be closed on Sunday. We will make a determination based on the future forecast models whether those closures need to be extended, but currently for now, Sunday, all beach parks will be closed. And finally, the Summer Fun program will be canceled for Monday, July 27th. Similar, we will also be reassessing the forecast in the coming days to see if the last day of Summer Fun, which is July 27th or July 28th, Tuesday, will be canceled as well. But for now, it is just Monday, July 27th. Summer Fun is canceled. As has been closed since March 18th, Hanauma Bay Nature Preserve remains closed as well. Thank you, folks, and stay safe.
Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate it. And our Parks and Recs folks, we want to thank them for all their hard work and making adjustments. Department of Enterprise Services is also a critical department in the city. They manage our golf courses, the zoo, and other things. We have Tracy Kubota, who is the acting director, to come up and say a few words about actions we're taking. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Mayor. So to err on the side of caution and just to keep everyone safe, we've decided to make sure that the zoo and the golf courses are going to be closed. Golf courses will be closed Sunday and Monday, and the zoo will be closed on Sunday, and their normal closures are Monday, Tuesday. So we'll be rolling into that, and I'm sure we'll be able to keep everybody safe, our animals, people, and the public as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it. Many of our golf courses are used as floodplains, and they sometimes get silt and debris after a major storm, and that's part of the reason why we're closing them. And of course, our zoo is a massive botanical garden in itself with many trees. So we thank everyone for their patience. Finally, I wanted to emphasize our call center is going to be up and running. You can see up here is 768 City, which is 768-2489. is going to be up and running starting today. It's going to stay open until 4:30 today, and then on Saturday it's going to open at 7:30 and go all the way to 7 in the evening. And on Sunday it's going to open at 7:30 in the morning and again go all the way to 7 in the evening. This center has really performed a great function for questions by people of all sorts, including in past hurricane events. We've gotten people to call and say, do you know where my husband is even? And we try to help in whatever it is that we're asked. And so want to emphasize, if you have questions, please call. Finally, I'm asking the Chief Engineer of the Board of Water Supply to come up and just talk a little bit about concerns on our reservoirs. As you know, we had an event where we were afraid about the Nuuanu Reservoir being topped and, issues regarding water. So, Ernie, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Aloha kako. Ernie Lau, Board of Water Supply Manager and Chief Engineer. As you know, water is life, kawai ola. And last year we had some incidents a few years ago about we also own 2 reservoirs in Nuuanu Reservoir number 1 and Nuuanu Reservoir number 4. So those are open dams built almost 100 years ago. And when you have heavy rainfall, like what we might expect from this storm, Hurricane Douglas, those reservoirs fill up fast, especially Nuuanu Reservoir number 1. So I would urge you to go to our boardofwatersupply.com website, go to the community tab in the upper right, and look. Then you'll look for Nuuanu reservoirs, and that has information about the reservoirs. And if it becomes necessary to evacuate, should the reservoirs become at risk to overtop because they're filling up too rapidly, then the instructions are there. I just want to assure everybody that we are monitoring those reservoirs very closely and coordinating with the Department of Emergency Management to ensure that we're going to try to keep the water levels as low as possible.
Can you describe the water level right now?
Right now, Nuuanu Reservoir number 4 is about halfway full. So the reservoir at the crest of the dam is about 66 feet high. So we're at about 26 feet right now, water level.
The other one is empty, right?
The other one, Nuuanu Reservoir number 1, which is 100 years old, is bone dry right now. So that's a good thing, but it is a small reservoir, and with heavy rains it can fill rapidly. We're going to be monitoring and let people know what's happening. Just a reminder, like the mayor mentioned, emergency water storage is very important for our community. So 1 gallon per day per person for 14 days. And when you go to the shelter, please take some water with you in a clean container. Instructions are on our website. But remember, Board of Water Supply, we supply water to about 1 million people on Oahu every day. And average usage is about 145 million gallons a day. So that's a lot of people, and we depend on electricity to pump most of that water. So if electricity gets disrupted, we ask everybody treat our water as if it was very precious, because kawai loa, water is life. Use only what you need, don't waste it, conserve that water. Take what you need from the tap. Don't get stuck in lines at the big boxes. It's a penny a gallon from the Board of Water Supply, so you can't beat that price. It's drinking water quality. You just need a clean container. So take what you need. Thank you.